Let me start this tutorial with a simple question. Why learning to draw curves representing different elasticities is so important? Look at this board question. Draw diagrams to show the elasticity of demand when it is greater than 1, less than 1 and unity. It appeared in 2015. It carries 3 marks. This itself will tell you how important it is to draw graph fast and without any mistakes. The elasticity curves are so simple and easy to draw. Before drawing a curve, always keep in your mind, graph must be drawn at the center of the page. It should neither be very near to the left margin nor very near to the right edge of the page. Never write anything on either sides of the graph. There must be enough space on both the sides of the graph. If you want to give a title, give it just directly above the graph. It must be shown distinctively. Now, draw the y and x axis. Name the axis and the origin. Show price is measured along the y-axis, quantity demanded along the x-axis. Remember, this is common to all the graphs. I will not repeat this part of drawing the graph again and again. I will only show you how to draw the curves. Well, we shall first draw the perfectly elastic demand curve. Draw a horizontal line parallel to x-axis, name it. Specify the price. Draw two vertical lines at some distance from the curve to the x-axis. Specify the quantities. Next, perfectly inelastic demand. Draw a vertical line parallel to y-axis, name it. Specify the quantity. Draw two horizontal lines at some distance from the curve to y-axis. Specify the prices. The third one is relatively elastic demand. Draw a curve relatively flat and sloping downwards from left to right. Name it. It is here that most of the students commit a mistake by drawing a curve like this. It appears to be relatively steep. For heaven's sake, don't draw like this. In order to avoid this kind of error, adopt the following method. First, specify the price P2. Draw a horizontal line as shown in the diagram. From the right edge of the line, draw a vertical line to the x-axis. Specify the quantity. Specify the price P1 just below P2 and draw a horizontal line. Its length must be distinctively greater than the previous one. Draw a vertical line to the x-axis. Specify the quantity. The distance between P2 and P1 must be less than the distance between M1 and M2. Now, draw the demand curve touching the right edges of the two horizontal lines. Name it. This is the perfect way of drawing the curve. The fourth one is relatively inelastic demand curve. The curve is relatively steep. But in drawing this curve also, students commit mistakes. So, let me show you how to draw it correctly. First, show the initial price P2 and M1 quantity pair. Then, show the new price P1 at a reasonable distance below P2 along the y-axis. Draw a horizontal line. Let the line be a little greater than the previous one. From the right edge of the line, draw a vertical line to the x-axis. Specify the quantity M2. Finally, the distance between P2 and P1 must be greater than the distance between M1 and M2. Now draw the curve and name it. The last one is unitary elastic demand. Draw a smooth curve like this. It must be convex towards the origin. Its upper segment must move towards the y-axis. Its lower segment must move towards the x-axis. Name it. Mark the price, P2. Draw a horizontal line to the curve. From the curve, draw a vertical line to x-axis. Mark the quantity, M1. Mark the price, P1. Draw a horizontal line to the curve. From there, draw a vertical line to x-axis. Mark the quantity, M2. We have completed all the graphs. We shall see some of the mistakes commonly committed by the students. Most of the students draw curves which more or less look similar to represent relatively elastic demand and relatively inelastic demand. They must show the difference very clearly. Another common mistake is, while drawing the unitary elastic demand curve, instead of drawing the rectangular hyperbola, they draw a linear curve. These mistakes can easily be avoided. Avoid mistakes and score full mark. We shall meet in the next video lesson.